a barrel. Now that more of us are returning to the office, we are spending more time together. But when it comes to humor in the workplace, well, you need to know your audience, as we hear from Bloomberg's Amy Morris.
GovExec reports it can be more challenging for women than for men, especially if the women are of a lower status in the office, or if the woman making the joke comes across as too aggressive. Researchers say those findings should remind people to hold off immediate judgments about people based on their use of humor.
Bloomberg's Amy Morris reporting. Global news 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Susanna Palmer. This is Bloomberg.
Broadcasting live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130 to Washington, D.C. Bloomberg 99.1 to Boston. Bloomberg 106.1 to San Francisco. Bloomberg 960 to the country. Sirius XM Channel 119 and around the globe. The Bloomberg Business app and BloombergRadio.com. This is Bloomberg Best. I'm Ed Baxter.
And I'm Denise Pellegrini. And education, of course, is key for so many people when it comes to social mobility.
And Denise, yeah, that's one of the things we had a chance to hear about from Ken Griffin, the billionaire founder of the hedge fund Citadel.
And Griffin starts here, though, on Bloomberg Wealth with David Rubenstein, telling David how Citadel moved some operations to Florida at the start of the pandemic. Let's listen in.
So the early days of COVID were, as you and I both know, very frightening. Like, we were going to see the first pandemic of our lifetime up front in a very personal way. Health of our team came first and foremost in every decision. And on the back of that, we actually leased the Four Seasons in Palm Beach, Florida in March of 2019. We sent hundreds of people there to ride out the first wave of the pandemic. And that worked extraordinarily well. We created a bubble where people were safe for what was unfolding around them, and we could meet the needs of our clients.
Now, many people are moving because of COVID and other reasons to Florida because their taxes are lower and so forth. Have you ever thought of moving your entire organization to Florida permanently?
So we take great pride in running our global footprint, which means that we will always be in the major cities of the world where talent aggregates. Now, having said that, there's been an incredible pull of talent into Florida over the course of the pandemic. And there's a real shift in mindset of youth about being in South Florida in terms of their careers. So I think it's reasonable to assume that you'll see Citadel have a much larger footprint in Florida over the years.
You've been a big supporter of political candidates, probably more Republican than Democratic candidates who support your views, and that's very common in the United States. Do you feel you've gotten your money's worth by supporting these candidates? Do they listen to you, or they already have the views that you had and you're just supporting them because they already had those views?
So I think, most importantly, I want to support people who stand for personal freedom, who believe in limited government, who want to protect the American dream, and who care deeply about education. In fact, one of the first significant fundraisers that was done for President Obama was done in the office of Citadel, because President Obama came to me and said, I will be the education president. And there's nothing more important to me than the education of our youth. That's like top of list to me, is we provide for our children the opportunities that our parents and that we have had. So, having said that, once people are in office, they're going to, by and large, do what they're going to do, and I'm pretty consumed with my day job.
So when you call somebody you've given a contribution to, do they take the call right away, or they just say, well, I'm too busy?
You know, I don't know if it has to do with contribution as much as it has to do with the thought that we are thoughtful partners. So, for example, in the early days of the pandemic, we had a family that was in Wuhan, and the United States had arranged for one flight to go to Wuhan to bring Americans out of the city. And I had the opportunity with Secretary Pompeo to really get to the heart of the matter, which is how many Americans are in Wuhan. And we ended up working with the Secretary of State in funding 5 or 6 flights that went to Wuhan that brought hundreds of Americans home at the start of the pandemic. With the Trump administration, we were involved in some of the conceptualization of Operation Warp Speed, the importance of the United States supporting vaccine manufacturers and purchasing vaccines of unknown efficacy before they went through the FDA trials, all about accelerating time to market. And you saw that when the vaccines were finally approved by the FDA, we were able to immunize tens of millions of Americans in the blink of an eye in retrospect. And that has to go back to the origin of Operation Warp Speed. So having those contacts in Washington can be very important in certain points in time.
So one of my partners, Glen was with our firm for many years. He ran for governor of Virginia and was elected. And I wonder whether you have ever thought about running for office yourself.
So I'm really excited that Glen is governor of Virginia because he cares about issues that are really important to me. For example, education and public safety. And I really hope that Glen will be a leader who will lead from the middle, who will take the state to a better place, and will be a roadmap for success in America. I really wish the new governor great success in his new role. Personally, I love my work. I have 3 young children. I'm not interested in pursuing a career in politics at this moment in time.
That was Ken Griffin, founder of the hedge fund Citadel, on Bloomberg Wealth with David Rubenstein.
And coming up, why Griffin bought a rare copy of the Constitution.
You're listening to Bloomberg Best. Wednesday, Bloomberg speaks exclusively with Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin.
Inflation is not a one-year phenomenon, it's a multi-year phenomenon.
What are his thoughts of the Fed's rate hike path and the outlook for the economy?
They give a pretty good guidepost in terms of how we react under different scenarios.
Richmond Fed President Thomas Barkin.
Our forward guidance and our tools allow us to do what we need to do.
Wednesday morning at 10:30 on Bloomberg 1130, the Bloomberg Business app, and BloombergRadio.com. Bloomberg, the world is listening.
Greg Sauter is president of WGI, which provides engineering solutions for public infrastructure and real estate development projects. He's also on the board of overseers for New Jersey Institute of Technology and sees firsthand the intense demand by companies to hire NJIT graduates.
It's become almost cliche to say, but a large percentage of the jobs required in the not-too-distant future have not even been identified yet. What that means is we need graduates with problem-solving skills and an understanding of technology, technological dexterity, to be the leaders and innovators of the future. NJIT is rising to that challenge. It's not just about the engineering and the science, but it's also about the application of those in problem solving. Understanding how to apply is something that NJIT is outstanding at, and that's one of the reasons that their student body, that their graduates are sought after.
NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Learn more at njit.edu.
Burden LLP Accountants and Advisors presents Industry Chat with John Fitzgerald, partner and leader of the law firm services practice.
Cyber attacks continue to grow more sophisticated and frequent, resulting in companies becoming more selective on the law firms they share their sensitive data with. Given this and the ethical duties that require attorneys to protect confidential client information, law firms must ask, how secure are we? And undergo a cybersecurity assessment that examines their IT infrastructure, employee behavior, and business and data procedures. Burden can help by analyzing your current security posture and developing a plan to reduce your cyber risk. If you're a CEO of a law firm, let Burden help protect you, your clients, and your business.
For more industry chat from Burden Accountants and Advisors, visit burdenllp.com. That's BERDON LLP.com. Burden Accountants and Advisors. We listen, we solve, we do.
The market is unpredictable, BAM gives you certainty. In the face of market volatility and illiquidity, BAM insured municipal bonds deliver default protection, value preservation, and a durable AA rating from S&P. BAM's insurance protects against everything that causes a default, including natural disasters, financial fraud, pension issues, and economic disruption. So while America rebuilds, BAM has you covered. BAM, Build America Mutual. Talk to your investment advisor or visit buildamerica.com.
No company wants to be involved in an international dispute. But when disagreements arise, you need expertise at your side. Take a closer look at ICDR, the International Center for Dispute Resolution. Backed by the longevity and strength of the American Arbitration Association, the ICDR is the world's leading provider of cross-border dispute resolution services, handling more cases than any other institution. Find out why global expertise matters. Visit ICDR.org.
Are you interested in a challenging and exciting career at Bloomberg Radio? Visit Bloomberg.com/careers to view our current job opportunities. Bloomberg Radio is owned and operated by Bloomberg LP and is an equal opportunity employer. Visit Bloomberg.com/careers.
The Bloomberg traffic and weather are crashing, construction causing delays in Queens. The accidents on the Belt Parkway westbound into Princess Louis Boulevard blocking the right lane. And road work on the Van Wyck northbound College Point Boulevard up to Northern Boulevard. The left lane is blocked until further notice. We have a flow going on the Gowanus Expressway eastbound 38th Street down to the Gowanus Canal. Again, because of road work, GW Bridge inbound on the lower deck about a 5-minute delay. Upper deck, you're okay. Operational activity closing the center tube at the Lincoln Tunnel. No problems with the Holland. This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. With Indeed, you can attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Bloomberg 11:30 day weather forecast. Cloudy today, showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm. High 50 to 55. Tomorrow, clouds and sun, breezy, high 45 to 50. On Monday, a mix of sun and clouds, high 40, with the best ride in and out of the city. Bloomberg 11:30. Time now for sports.
St. Peter's moves on to face North Carolina Sunday. The Peacocks advance with a 67-64 win over Purdue. They become the first ever 15th seed to reach the Elite Eight. Kansas and Miami win. Tonight, Villanova takes on Houston. Duke battles Arkansas. A night off for the Knicks after their 111-103 comeback win in Miami. The Knicks close it out on a 38-13 run. Manuel quickly scores 20-23 in the fourth. At the Garden, Chris Kreider scores twice for the Rangers' 5-1 win over Pittsburgh. That's a Bloomberg Sports Update. I'm Joel Stern. World markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is Bloomberg 1130. Now, a global news update.
This is a special report, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. President Biden is vowing to stand with the people of Ukraine in the battle for democracy. Speaking in Warsaw, he called for NATO unity in the face of Russian aggression. Biden noted the economic sanctions the U.S. and allies have placed on Moscow, calling them unprecedented and effective in crippling Russia's economy. The president also cited the heroism and resilience of the Ukrainian people in defending their homeland. The president said rather than breaking NATO's resolve, Russia's attack on Ukraine has had the opposite effect. Biden noted the democracies of the world have been revitalized by Moscow's actions. Biden began his speech by quoting Pope John Paul II in saying, "Be not afraid," in his first message in Poland when the former Soviet Union dominated the region. Authorities in Lviv are reporting 2 Russian rockets hit the outskirts of the city. The attack wounded at least 5 people. This has been a special report, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I'm Julie Ryan.
This is Bloomberg Best on Bloomberg Radio.
This is a special edition of Bloomberg Best. I'm Ed Baxter.
And I'm Denise Pellegrini.
Denise, what makes a great investor?
Well, that is a very important question, Ed. And it's one a lot of people often do wonder about.
And that's one of the things that we had a chance to hear about from billionaire Ken Griffin.
Griffin is the founder of the hedge fund Citadel.
He starts here, though, Denise, on Bloomberg Wealth with David Rubenstein, telling David why he was willing to spend more than $43 million for a rare copy of the Constitution.
So, David, I'm actually then in your territory because I know you have an incredible collection of American and frankly, global historical documents. As you know, I'm a big art collector. And to me, collecting art is about collecting works of humanity where people have really broken the mold. They've gone to an unconventional place. Our founding fathers broke the mold of governance in the Constitution. In that document are so many values and principles that are just dearly important to me. You know, my story in the United States represents the American dream. And the American dream is what the Constitution provides.